Steve Merchant.
Hello.
Karl Pilkington and everything. No, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go on.
A little bit hungover,
Yeah.
don't feel very well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm hungover or still a bit drunk, but I don't feel...
You sound like you're still a bit drunk.
Yeah, so what I'm worried
you do
about...
every week, so...
But what I'm worried about is that the standard will slip. Yeah,
Sure.
if I'm not right on the ball. And the other thing is, I haven't had a lot of time to prepare the show today.
Okay.
So, I don't, I don't really, I don't feel, you know...
100%.
Yeah, I haven't done the... Karl...
Right.
Look...
Have you finished that sentence?
I don't make me laugh because it hurts as well. And there's another side effect to me being a little bit hungover or drunk or whatever, right, is that I can be annoying.
Right, yes, yes.
Because just to amuse myself, I sort of like turn my body off a little bit and just poke and like that and annoy people and that. I want to sort of like...
Well, you do the physical equivalent of freewheeling.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
you? You just
I sort of want to climb on Karl and go to sleep on him.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
They both annoy him and it'd be comfortable.
Yes. Yes.
Which is, you know, can be annoying.
Just a little thing just to make this show a bit easier. If you'd put your hand up when you want one of us to speak, because it's not quite, I'm not quite sure when the sentences are finished.
The hands are up.
Okay, good. So,
the hands are up.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, alright.
Okay.
Are you gonna just keep them up for the rest of the show, or?
No, that, like, Karl, do what you... Huh?
Good, alright. Do you want to, I mean, is there an excuse as to why you're a bit hungover?
Too much wine.
Okay. Alright.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah. Good, good. Thanks for
Okay.
that. Because this is the only work you've got to do all week, isn't it? Like, unless I'm very much mistaken. You don't have to do anything. You just sit at home eating cheese.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you do a bit of sort of shadow boxing. And that's exercise. And then you sit and watch TV.
Yeah.
Is that roughly what you did this week?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So this is the only 2 hours you had to do anything for all week. This is you had to prepare for this.
Yeah, but who can plan a hangover?
Right.
You know, you'd think, Karl, you said you had some stuff.
Yeah.
What have you got? Yeah, I love the fact that, whereas I was a little bit slow, Karl there leapt into action to keep this show afloat, keep the pace up. Go on.
Right, well,
Karl, are you hungover as well, or?
I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm with you. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got much to do all week.
You're having a laugh.
What?
What angers me is I kind of hope that maybe I could have quite a long career in radio, and I sort of feel like I don't know, the word sinking ship.
Yeah.
Those words spring to mind.
But...
Because it feels like, I mean, Karl, you're just a chancer anyway. You weren't even supposed to be on air, and we've made you into something of a household name, and that's cool.
Household name.
And Ricky's already a celebrity. He's got it stitched up. He's got corporates. He's got, you know, voiceover work. But I've got nothing. I'm running on empty. I'm not, nothing. I've got nothing. I'm sort of dependent a bit on this.
Yeah.
Financially. And...
Go on then. What
and you two are sort of bringing it down, really.
Right.
Do you reckon I can get my own show, Karl?
Karl. Tell them
like
what I did
Capital
out there
Gold
with
or
a bit. No, Karl, tell them how funny I was out there with a bit in that a minute ago.
So anyway, come
Karl,
on,
I'm
right?
bored of this.
I'll tell you what. will we tease them with what we've got coming up next?
Yeah,
Karl, tease us after the next
Because I think we've already got them for 2 hours.
Yeah, we've hooked them, Karl. Don't worry, this is textbook radio.
What's this? Badly Drawn Boy.
Yeah.
Badly Drawn Boy. You were right. XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Karl, you were saying what's coming up?
Right, over the next 2 hours then, last week, was a bit of a mess.
Don't be silly.
So I've sorted it out. We'll be doing the same features.
Right.
We've got,
I think that was the reason it was a mess, if I'm honest.
well,
You've tightened it, you've tightened the ship.
Tightened it up, and also keeping people for longer.
Okay.
Right,
So-
tell me your plans. What
have you come up with
Tell
then?
me your ethos behind this then.
Right.
Always show your workings, Karl.
Always show your workings, Karl.
Alright then, so, last week we started good sort of play on words that we had going.
Go on.
The well-known film Educating Rita.
Yeah. That's become, thanks to Karl Pilkington's brain, it's become...
I've tweaked it a bit, and now it's Educating Ricky.
Brilliant.
Right? And that was a new feature we started last week, if you weren't listening, where I teach Ricky stuff.
What did you teach me?
Taught you about that little Chinese hairy kid.
Yeah, you didn't teach me anything. You said there was a kid that was born that was slightly hairy than other Chinese people.
Where the saying chewing the fat came from.
I enjoyed
That was good, that was interesting.
And,
and a man who had a beard because he was being abducted for 3 days. Again, that was rubbish.
Lest we forget.
That taught me more about you than about alien abduction.
but what happened last week is,
Go on.
we sort of talked about it all in one go. and you can't...
Whereas this week you've done what? You've spread it out over the show.
Well, I've spread it across the 2 hours, because I always found that if you try to be taught too much in one go, you just can't take it in and it'll be wasted.
Is that your experience of school?
Yeah.
They taught you in 3-minute bursts.
Yeah, and not every day.
Yeah.
Every other
When
month.
you felt like it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're gonna do, right?
So we've got Educating Ricky coming up. That's
Educating
exciting
Ricky across the 2 hours.
Okay, look forward to
and
that.
what I do is, I've made little headlines again, and you decide which story you want to go
All of
for
them.
first.
Well, give me the first
Yeah.
headline.
No, not yet. We'll do that in a
Well,
bit.
give me a teaser.
Hang on a minute, I'm telling you what else.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We've also got, we started it last week, Rockbusters.
Oh yeah, that was a triumph.
Yeah.
I think we went wrong there.
Why?
By letting you do it?
Doing it on air?
Not thinking it through.
Yeah.
Bit of that.
Okay, so what's the rules on Rockbusters?
We're gonna do Rockbusters,
Okay.
but you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk when you know the answers,
Okay.
right? And sort of round near the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
We'll give out the answers then. So if they think they know the answers, they've got to hang about.
Rick, I should tell you now,
I'm not hanging about.
don't think that the listeners are going to go away empty-handed.
I was worried about that.
I can tell you where, and don't worry, because Karl has sorted out some top quality prizes.
Good.
First up, this is stuff that people can win, and be excited about this. First up, it's a DVD of The Office. I don't know how he got hold of it. I don't know how he got hold of it. Because they are like gold dust.
Yeah.
There's, this is the second gift. Now, bear in mind, I don't know where he's rummaged that from. This is an XFM compilation album.
Oh,
He's managed to sort that out somehow.
Excellent.
I don't know how he sorted that out. There's another compilation album, which has got, some sort of, indie-type hits of these. But this is possibly...
Have you got a film to give away?
Well, I'm glad you've asked.
What film, though? Cause
I know you're a big fan of DVDs. It's one of the big hot releases that everyone's keen to get their hands on.
Not arbitrary, is it? It's not the only one. No, this film title won't be an arbitrary film, will it? It'll be a big...
Rick, I don't want you thinking that the film that Karl has sorted out here is that he's sourced for us is just an arbitrary thing that you wouldn't get. You could buy for $3.99 in HMV.
Yeah.
Right, they're giving
one
these away.
One of those big baskets.
Exactly. I don't know who is phoning up to try and win this, but you can be lucky
If this is
winner.
your favourite film, it's yours.
Exactly.
Okay.
But this is the big star prize. This is the one you're all playing for. It's Children of the Corn. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. It's a widescreen presentation on DVD.
Imagine getting that and going, excellent. We can watch this now.
But Rick, I mean, let me just run through some of the cast. Peter Horton. Pete Horton's in it, and that's about it.
I'll tell you what, I don't want to give it away if Hort is in it.
Exactly.
I'd love to see his performance
Porter's
again.
in it. Also Linda Hamilton. I know you're all
Linda
all big fans
Hamilton.
of
She plays a piece of corn.
Exactly. And I don't know I've not seen Children of the Corn. I could be wrong, but
But
it
that's
says
great.
it says
Karl,
it's
when
amazing.
you were rooting around the office, why don't you start throwing like a mouse mat and a pair of scissors and a pencil? Because that is just arbitrary.
That's an arbitrary selection
That's next week's stuff.
But also I should say we also have some, this is a little bit more exciting, we've also got some tickets for, DJ Shadow, who's performing at the Brixton Academy this evening.
Good, isn't he? He's good at
9 o'clock.
DJing.
So he's very good at DJing and scratching and the like.
Plays all the records that you want.
Exactly.
Plays all the records that you want. Don't bring your own. He's got them all. He's got them all. I've seen him arrive. He's got 2 big bags of them.
Yeah. So there's 3 pairs of DJ Shadow tickets. We'll give those away later as well. Don't just start phoning arbitrarily now.
No.
We'll give those away in our own
Is there
good
any
time.
lemonade?
Sorry?
I need some lemonade.
Okay, well while we sort out some lemonade, let's play a tune. Come on, Carl, what's wrong?
Whoa, Karl!
Ryan Adams from his new album Demolition. A track called Nuclear.
Yeah. I've found a new way of making it more exciting. When you're talking about something, I'll go, yeah, brilliant, agreeing with you. Okay. Making it all interesting.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really good album, that.
Yeah.
And, it's
Brilliant.
apparently just a collection of sort of demos and songs he had lying around.
Oh, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
You know, we're giving away those DVDs and Children of the Corn.
Look forward to that, Children of the Corn.
I've got an interesting anecdote about, the Office. Karl. Me and Karl went out, right? With, me and Jane, Karl and Johnny and Gigi, wasn't it? Karl, I'm talking to you. Wasn't it?
No.
Wasn't,
Gigi was
Is it important
What's
who
his
went?
No.
Okay.
But we're walking on the street. Karl was there, though, and he can back me up on this. We had a curry. We were walking back, and, this little funny homeless fella, didn't he? He, I got to tell it before I go, didn't he?
Yes.
he came up to me, right? And he recognised it. Talking's more difficult than you think. right? And he came up to me and he went, oh! He said, I've just nicked 5 of your DVDs from HMV. And he shook my hand. He was so happy with it. And I went, right, excellent. He went, all I do is I just swing the bag over the top. Like that, when I'm going out. And he had a bag full of DVDs, didn't he? And he was so pleased to tell me that he'd stolen. That great.
He said they're going like hotcakes.
Yeah, he said they're going up, of course they are!
Yeah, you're nicking them.
I know, we get paid for them though, don't we?
So not the stolen ones?
Don't we?
No. What do you mean? Did you sign them for him? you idiot. What, so, he just nicked 5...
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you say he was homeless, was he?
Well, he don't know, maybe.
No.
Surely, how would he have seen the show? He'd just walked past Curry's one
Dixon's.
morning.
Yeah, that's any idea.
Seen a trailer for it, thought, interesting.
I don't know if he was homeless, I didn't go into his home
Sure.
life.
He shook his hand, though, and...
But
went.
he made Karl look smart, do you know what I mean? So, but he wasn't northern, was he?
No, it was like, do you know in the Fast Show with Paul Whitehouse, when he did that character, that shady character?
Yes.
The spit of that, you know,
Was
like a ponytail, t-shirt on, a bit too big for him, and just the movement and everything, really like a cockney, little cheeky chap type person.
A little cockney cheeky chap, yeah.
And, he just said, oh, it's you. Said,
Yeah.
you've got your DVDs, got 6 of them from HMV, going like hotcakes they are. And then off he went, whistling.
Yeah.
Well chuffed with himself.
Yeah.
Going like hotcakes.
What's he gonna do with them then? Probably sell them.
Yeah.
How does he sell them? Where does he sell them? Does he go up to people and go, do you want an office DVD? They're not nicked.
Yeah.
4 quid.
Yeah, exactly. Are these stolen? No.
No. They've still got the tags on them.
Well, it's like those people who, those cab drivers that you'll meet at sort of 3 in the morning who've just got a car.
Yeah.
And just went out with a car.
Yeah.
And just, I'll pick people up and charge them.
Yeah.
I got in one once, I said to him, the guy just pulled up, he said, I was in like, East London, going back to, North London. I said, yeah, going to, Swiss Cottage. He went, sure, hop in. We set off. He went, do you know the way? I said, well, not really, no. I thought you'd know the way. You're in a cabbie. And he went, no, don't really know the way there. I said, have you got an A to Z? He went, no. I thought, well, if you're gonna go out just on the, just winging it as a cab driver,
Yeah.
2 things, take a map and a torch. He didn't have either. He said, well, I'll probably get to Camden. I said, right, I'll direct you from there. Drove on for about 5 minutes, making conversation. About 5 minutes later, he went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought you knew the way to Camden. I don't really know the way. I thought I did.
Oh.
It was I mean,
Let me out. 4 quid.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know who's got that sort of time on their hands, that they just think, it's 3 in the morning, I'm at a loose end. I think I'll go out doing a bit of cabbing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because your dad was a cabbie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Couldn't stand it, but it's good money.
He was he wasn't like a chancer, though.
What was he doing when he put that little Forrest Gump in a weedy bin?
That was part of the cab company thing. They had to do like a charity event once a year, and he did it one year. Never asked him again.
Tell us the story again.
I'd rather not, because we got a few sort of complaints about it.
Why? Why did you get complaints about it?
Because he put a kid in a bin, and it's not the thing to do. So.
But we could use it as a sort of sobering lesson for people.
Yeah, tell it like a, you shouldn't do it.
No, yeah, but that's how I did it last time, but people still didn't like it. All the stuff I tell you, we don't take the mickey out of people on purpose.
No.
It's real life, innit? And that goes on in life.
Yeah.
My dad was saying that in hospital, though. Do you know I was in hospital?
Yeah.
He did some jokes about old people and that. And he said, at the end of the day, if something makes you laugh, it's funny. And if it makes you laugh, you can't help laughing, can you? Do you know what I mean? So, what you meant to do? And laughing's good for you.
Yeah.
So,
but being laughed at isn't as good for you, is it?
No, but there's probably more people laughing at one person, so if you balance it out, there's only one person who's upset and there's a bunch of people laughing. So, it's
Jesus! Give me an example of that. Give me an example.
Well, for instance, Karl Pilkington as he talks and the people listening.
Yeah, no, give me an example of like, so,
I can't, because again, that's what I'm saying, I can't tell you the story, because there might be someone out there who, this person might even be listening and think, I forgot about that and you brought it all back to me.
Yeah.
So, I prefer to leave it, but I think people know.
Why did he put him in the bin in the first place?
Because he was getting out of hand.
What was he doing, though?
You see, I can't explain.
You can! Don't be silly!
I prefer to leave it, honestly.
What was he doing? Was he annoying him?
He was annoying my dad and the other people in the cab.
Right.
And he thought, how can I deal with this before it gets too out of hand?
Yeah.
He pulled over and put the lad in a wheelie bin.
I'm gonna burst.
So we'll leave that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
How old was the kid?
I'm not sure, but I mean, it was a trip to sort of Blackpool, so I'm guessing.
Do you think it was one of the rides?
17.
This is rubbish.
17?
Yeah.
Oh, he's quite an old lad then.
So a big lad.
Yeah.
But let's.
Did he pick him up?
He picks him up and put him in a wheelie bin.
Every time he says it, I like it.
And then on the way back, he got him back again. He said, right, you won't do that again.
On the way back?
Yeah, he left him there for a bit.
He left him there, what, they went to Blackpool and he left the kid in the wheelie bin?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
What, was the kid in the wheelie bin when he drove back?
Yeah.
Did he not get out?
No, because how do you get out? It's tricky, innit? And he wasn't a normal kid, was he? Let's leave it.
He wasn't a normal kid.
Right then. So,
Is your father in prison?
Oh,
I think he should be.
Can we put a song on?
Yeah, go on then.
Feeder, come back around. XFM, 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I asked Karl in the week, right, what animal would he never trust? Even if he got to know it and it was a pet and everything, what animal would he never trust? What was it?
Was this, a wasp?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a wasp, Karl?
I just think that,
They're shifty?
all other animals, if you get them at an early age, you can sort of make them like you.
You can train them.
A wasp.
Nothing.
Never.
Is there anything do you think there's anything you could do that would kind of, win the favour and win the trust of a wasp? What would you have to do you think?
What if you had it from a little grub?
Yeah.
And you fed it, you had its favourite marmalade?
It doesn't affect it though, does it? A bee dies, doesn't it, if it does it, so it's not gonna, like, use it willy-nilly.
That's easy for you to say.
But a wasp,
you think they sting arbitrarily? They just sting for the fun of it? They're like sort of like delinquent insects? Like
I think so, because last night, right, I mean, this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learnt last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you?
Yeah,
apparently not, you've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having its leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
actually said
almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly
Were you watching a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you're reading it.
And, it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
it's
right,
part of the,
Educating.
So, if you don't trust the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I also, I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, your mind was put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it.
Okay.
And it's shooting you, right? And, you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind has been put into an animal.
Animal, yeah, so it's you in this animal thinking you've got to get to somewhere.
But the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow somewhere and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm...
Oh, we've all had that conversation.
So the government's going, Karl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Karl, don't I, these conversations. Go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think about it, you think about it just for a second, so let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London. Right? And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals or looking on the field, seeing what's looking a bit suspicious. Trying to get to your body.
And they're shooting
the brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated if it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway. If someone's driving there's a wasp in the car, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident.
Yeah.
So think of something that people wouldn't, you know.
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously, aren't you, Karl?
You've only got a couple of...
You've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So, something with speed.
Yeah, it's
something that can travel quite speedily.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well,
and something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the sort of thing that's what you're going to
Yeah.
And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Carl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Tell him why.
Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so it goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
Government can't see it, Steve! Think of that statement! Think if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
Now,
People get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seen it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like,
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
well, you said there was no problem with the size of it, you said you could,
there certainly wouldn't be.
so...
No.
I pretty much you could download everything you know into a flea.
Yeah.
So that's genius.
Yeah.
That's,
what would you rather have, right? Roller skate feet, and there's little wheels, right? Chopstick hands. Yeah? Instead of hands. Chopsticks instead of hands. Wheels instead of feet.
Yeah.
Right? Or acne.
How big are the wheels?
Can I take you guys back to the old school? Do you mind if we take it back to the old school?
Well, yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna lay on me?
No, I just, maybe a bit of a De La Soul.
Yeah,
Is that a problem? Is it a problem
yeah.
going back to the old school?
No,
'Cause I'm
no,
not, we don't need to go if you don't
as
want.
long as it's vinyl shit.
It is indeed. Slam it on.
I never went. There we go.
De La Soul. Old school.
Brilliant,
Brilliant. Jam named Saturday.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Good stuff. Carl, so, educating Ricky. You were going to tease us now with some of the big headlines you've got.
Look at
Get him grooving. He really is in the
He
groove there.
really is dancing there.
Right.
Right.
So,
Okay.
the way this works is,
What would you rather be, Carl?
I teach you
Superheroes.
3 things.
A frog boy, yeah, that you could leap onto a house, but you had to go first and leap onto a house. You're this frog boy, right? And that could be useful, couldn't it?
That's very useful, yeah.
Right, amploid, where you've got your hands and microphones, and you can talk into your hand and your whole body. It's like 100 decibels. You can go, "Oi, come here," and people can hear you from miles away. Amploid, right, right. Or sado, right? And that means that you can go up to anyone and go, alright, and they don't know why, they just get fed up for the whole day.
Which of those would you prefer? Don't answer now, have a think about it.
The frog thing, do I look like one, or...
No, you're just you in your little Ben Sherman shirt and everything, and they go, and people walk along and they go, oh, look at that young child on that roof, he's gonna fall, I wish Frog Boy was here, and you go, and you go down, you go, and they go, here's him! And they don't recognise you when you're squatting, they go, I don't know who you are. And you leap up there and save, and you come back and they go, where's Frog Boy? And you're standing up and you go, don't know, he went that way.
Yeah, I'd probably have that one.
Would
Probably
you?
go with Frog Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay, go on.
Right, so, did that just go out?
What?
All that.
Go on, I've got a bad...
Hey, look, Rick, Carl's really planned this show. He's really worked out. He came in early, he was writing things down.
And there's me just coming up with rubbish
and
like
you're
that.
just talking rubbish. So, Carl, I know you've been thinking this through. What have you got?
So, Educating Ricky, we did it last week. It's where I teach you some stuff. But rather than just teach you something, I tease you, so you want to know more, so you want to take in information. Right? So...
if only people had taught you like that, Carl.
So...
And also, it's the name of a film, sort of. Nearly.
Coming up soon, Henry VIII and his, well, how many wives? Come back tomorrow, Carl, to find out.
The little headlines I've got to sort of tease you with the story.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt me and I'm not very well. Go on.
Right, we've got,
So this is what, sorry, I've just got lost for a minute there.
It's Educating Ricky.
This is Educating Ricky,
Yeah.
and these are the stories that these are the things you're gonna tell him.
Yeah.
But these are just headline versions.
These are headlines.
This is not the actual fact.
Then I think people will remember things.
Okay, alright, so sort of bullet points.
Who can forget Hairy Chinese Boy?
Indeed, I shall never forget that.
Yeah.
So, first headline,
Ooh.
don't do that to it, you know it can't live without an head.
I've got no idea. It could be about the French Revolution, it could be about anything.
I know what it is!
No, you think you do, but...
No, it's something I taught you! Is it the fact that cockroaches can live for 9 days without a head?
That's part of it, but it's something different as well, that's why I thought we'd bring it up.
Okay, brilliant. So that's something to
next one, you won't work it out. If only it was raining.
Brilliant.
Okay. And the last one, what's tomato with you?
What's tomato with you?
Yeah.
Look how pleased he is.
You're obsessed with puns, aren't you, at the moment, Kay?
It just works. I think it works.
Yeah. You love puns.
So, there you go.
So which of those are you going to choose, Rick?
Oh, well, I'm going to have to choose. Don't do that. You know it can't live without Ed.
Can we play a tune and we'll come back with that?
I can
find out what that is.
Yeah.
Wow, what a history lesson that's going to be.
Dandy Warhols and Bohemian Like You on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, what's the story then?
Right, so what did you say you're going for? You've got your 3 titles, your 3 teasers.
Well, I think I'm going to go for Don't Do That to it. You know it can't live without an Ed.
I'm looking forward to this.
Right.
So this is educating Ricky, for those that have just tuned in.
Now, something that Ricky told me about when he was educating me was that a cockroach, if you cut its head off, it lives for a week.
Yeah.
Right?
And the only reason it dies is it can't take on water.
Sure. It doesn't have a great time in that week, though, does it? I mean, it doesn't get much done, I don't imagine.
It just needs water, and because it can't find any, like its eyes, it eventually dies.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So what?
No, it's not. That's not. It's
Anyway.
It can't drink.
So have you heard that one about worms?
Okay.
I have gone.
If you cut a worm in half, a lot of people have said in the past that it'll turn into 2 worms.
Right.
But that isn't actually true.
Okay. Who said that?
No, it used to be like,
kids at school
said it on, kids at school and stuff. So that, a lot of people think that.
Don't pick him up on stuff, Steve. It's bad enough.
Sure.
So, but what they can do, if you get a worm, right, and you find out which end its head's at.
Right.
If you you've got its head there at the left-hand side, right, and if you sort of cut it in half.
Right.
But not in half. So there's more of its neck than the tail, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bit that you've cut off will sort of die, and the rest of the worm will get better. So in a way, you can cut it in half, and it'll survive, but only one half will survive.
Okay.
Yeah? What have you learnt there?
I wish you hadn't chosen that one.
I know, because it's nothing, is it?
Yeah,
You know that joke, how would you tell a worm's head from its you put it in a bowl of flour and wait till it farts.
Yes.
Right? I told my mate that, right, and he went, what if it coughs?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah. So, there is a bit of truth in that myth of cutting one in half.
Where did you get this information? I don't understand where you get this information
That was from the Fortean Times. It was like the myth about worms.
Yeah.
That was the big article that week.
Did it take you as long to read that article as it took you to tell us just then?
I like the fact that it starts off debunking a myth that we hadn't heard of anyway.
Exactly.
You know the big thing about cutting a worm in half and making 2 worms? No. Yeah. What's the other one?
It's not the thing to do either, by the way. Don't go doing it.
No.
Cool.
It's not very nice. It's cruel.
But it can get by.
And it's pointless.
Yeah.
There's no scientific worth.
Yeah.
In that.
Well, there you go.
Okay then.
So the others now, you see what I do. No, I'll tell you the other titles. You're not having them yet. That's the whole idea of this. People will be driving or about to go out doing the shopping. They'll think about that now.
What was the other 2?
Well, the other 2.
They won't think about that. They've forgotten that.
No, they will.
No, they've forgotten that already.
If only it was raining. And what's tomato with you?
Right,
I'm looking forward to that one.
No, you've got to tell me tomato with you.
Look what's happening. You see, you already want more education. And this is what listeners will be doing.
I tell you, I wish you were a teacher. I so wish you were a teacher.
Do you know what I mean? Kids would be saying, I know it's 3:30, but I don't want to go home, I want more.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing with you. I'm teaching you.
Why are you teaching me things about not to cut worms in half and what's tomato with you? Please tell me what's tomato with you, Karl.
In a bit.
Rick,
what?
I tell you, he's thought the show through. He's teasing the audience. You're excited. They're listening.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So listen, I think we should all, because we got your competition to squeeze in. We got all these great goodies. Let's not forget. Hello, Children of the Corn.
I do feel slightly guilty that now this is Karl Pilkington's show. I don't think we should have our names involved.
No.
It's not fair, is it? And I think we should give Karl the money.
I don't want my name to this. It's a Ricky Gervais show. Yeah? Right, the quiz.
Yeah.
Will we get that out of the way, because they've only got an hour to start.
Don't you worry about that, Carl. I've already got this one. I'm thinking on your terms now. Let's play a tune. We'll come back with the big competition information. Alright? Money Mark. We've got a classic from Money Mark, from his album Push the Button. Play that, Carl. And afterwards... Are we excited? You got the competition? Look at his face, he's so excited now. He's thought this through.
He's loving it.
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters. Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Go on.
You're rejuvenated, are you?
Yeah, let's
You're
go
feeling
for it
okay?
now.
Second hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hangover finished with?
Yeah.
It's all done?
Done.
Good.
Done. I had some water.
Excellent. That'll often sort it out.
Yeah.
Well done.
Flea is the best way.
He's just had an argument with a punter. Someone called up and said, I don't think a flea's very good. How would the flea know? Tell him what he said. He said, how would the flea know what train to get on? He went, he gets to Houston and look at the timetable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went, we're not going to agree on this. He got annoyed at him, because the bloke said he'd be better to be a wasp.
Yeah.
A wasp would not survive, would it, on, you know, a Virgin train or something? So...
Why wouldn't it?
It just wouldn't, because people really don't like wasps, so somebody would end up clouting it and killing it, and that brain would never get to his body, so... Right, yeah, it is quiz time.
Whee! This is the moment we've all been looking forward to.
Go on. Do you want to tease them with the prizes?
No. Not really, because they might not bother phoning in. Or it's not a phone, or is it? It's an email.
Alright.
Okay, well, a quick reminder then, we've got to the office. I don't want people to think that we'll just keep plugging the office DVD. We've got nothing else to give away.
No one gives anything away.
No, that's
just hanging around in Carl's little room.
Did you get a guy from HMV just to did you get a guy just nick these from HMV and carry them
The
back?
beard and the ponytail.
Was that the story? So we got the Office DVD, obviously. We got the remix, XFM's remix album, Volume 2. That's sort of remixes of various tunes. Quite a good little compilation album here. One of those kind of the best Coldplay, Travis, Oasis, blah 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 albums in the world ever. And
Let's play some of them, because there's nothing in the library.
Exactly. Have a look on there.
4 Alanis Morissette, 9 Catatonia. I just counted, didn't that?
But the big one, the big star prize that you're all playing for is, of course, the DVD widescreen version of Children of the Corn, Stephen King's horror film. Lest we forget, it's got Peter Horton as the star. so look forward to that. We're going to give Shadow away separately, are we? We're going to do that separately?
Yeah.
We'll give away the DJ Shadow tickets at a separate...
Right, so we're playing for those DVDs and CDs, and what we're
it's an email competition, don't bother phoning in.
Yeah, the phone lines are lighting up a bit, so put the phone down, get the computer started up, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, if you know the answers to these, right? And the way it works, we did it last week, but if you didn't hear it, I'll give you some initials, and like a bit of a cryptic clue. So, and you work out who the band is or the artist, right? It's always a band or an artist. It's not any TV programs and that. So, say like last week we had S, didn't we? And it was Better Than the Average Homeless Person, and that was Supertramp. Right, so it's not always XFM music, it can be anything. And there's 3 of them.
They've got to get all 3, have they?
You've got to get all 3 and email in.
How long this intro so far has taken.
Yeah, but here we go then, right? First initials, LR.
LR.
LR,
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the cryptic clue is,
you should have thought it through. You should have thought it out before you came in.
Yeah, cryptic clue.
You've got it?
Yeah.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
Yeah.
LR.
I'll
take that book to the toilet with me.
And don't shout out if you know the answer, because...
No idea, Carl. No idea.
Right, okay, so there's 1. Right, the second one, FL.
FL.
This one's actually been emailed in as a suggestion.
Okay.
That person who's done that, don't email in, because you're disqualified from the comp. So...
I'd love him to be a teacher.
So...
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Just to see him one day. Can't we do that? Can't we get you a placement somewhere for you to teach history to sort of like, 14-year-olds?
I think science, Rick.
Science would be good, yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you what. You got a lot of... just quickly, for me, Carl, explain, say, what can we get him to explain that everyone learns as a kid? Science.
Photosynthesis?
Right. So, FL, right? FL are the letters, and the cryptic clue, blow the candles out before you eat the cake.
Blow the candles out before you eat the cake?
Yeah. Blow the candles out before you eat the cake. The letters there, FL.
Alright, we've got LR, we've got FL.
Yeah. And finally, the third one, NS.
Hold on, how many have they got to get?
3.
Don't worry, there's no more after this, Rick.
Right? NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like that? Right? That's one of mine. So very quickly recap, just in case we missed any. LR is the first one. LR. I'll take that book to the toilet with me. Cryptic clue. We had FL. Blow the candles out before you eat the cake. And the final one, NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like that? If you think you know the bands, you just email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You win the DVDs, the CDs, and that's it.
He's great, isn't he? I could sit here and watch him all day do this. Wow.
So ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
And we'll give the answers out just before, we finish, because then we'll keep them upped.
Alright.
Carl, just briefly, this is module 4A, natural history, yeah? Just briefly explain evolution. Since, natural selection, origin of the species, Darwin, just briefly describe.
That's the monkey thing. It is, isn't it?
Oh, well done.
Yeah,
go on. Tune, Carl.
What do you fancy playing?
Rick, I know you're always keen to rejuvenate the reputations of certain artists when you think maybe they've been kind of unfairly treated in the history of rock and roll.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a band I've always thought has been treated badly.
Yeah.
The Lemonheads.
Go on.
You with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lemonheads, if I could talk, I'd tell you.
Yeah.
He wrote some good little tunes, Evan Dando, before he went to the potty.
What would you rather have, right? Carl, would you rather have a lemon for a head, a radio for a head, what other band is there with something head?
Radiohead. Oh, you've done that?
Yeah. Or a talking head.
Right. Third one.
No, but you don't know what, no, because you've got you, and then you've got someone else's head on top, and it doesn't shut up. It's my head. It's my talking head coming out of your head. Yeah, so a radio head, just a radio head, and you can tune in, right?
You know you said there, Carl, that wasps were one of the most irritating things on the planet. Can I offer another suggestion?
Yeah.
You with me on that?
I am
no,
today.
go on then. Okay.
Educating Ricky, we got two left, haven't we? I'm looking forward to these.
We've still got two more. We've still got, If Only It Was Raining, and, What's Tomato With You?
I'll tell you what, I wish the listeners could see how happy he was when we started getting emails coming in.
Oh yeah, people, they're flooding in, actually.
Yeah, and he's so happy, he started dancing along going, well, that proves it's a good competition, he said!
Look at that, look at that! Look at that, mate.
What?
There's loads of people emailing there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what it is, Carl, it's not the competition, it's this, Children of the Corn! Widescreen DVD!
Next week, some staples and pencils!
I'll tell you what.
A piece of carpet!
I'll tell you what, right?
What?
Now we've got them, and they're staying, something we've still got to do is,
He is running the show now, he's doing well, isn't he? Because I've done nothing. I've done nothing towards this. I'm coming out of my hangover a little bit, if you're worried.
Remember last week we started a new feature called, That Song's Got a Good Story in It. And
brilliant, I love your catchy titles, they're excellent!
Right, and the idea was, it was a story in a song, which meant that if it was played on the radio, you couldn't just, fade it out, because you've got to have the full story.
Yeah.
Right, well last week we started the feature with Stevie Wonder, Living for the City.
Yeah.
Right?
But you played the version where it fades out.
Yeah, I didn't know there was more to it, so Steve told me what album it was on.
Yeah.
I've gone and got it. We've got the second half to that story.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
So, you've got half the story. What was it? What had happened is, the lad's living in Mississippi. There's not much going on there.
Mississippi. That's someone off Rainbow's mum.
Yeah.
Living, Mississippi?
Yeah. His mum was a cleaner.
Yeah.
Trying to get by. They didn't have a great life, but they still looked after the kids and stuff. There's more to it than that.
Have you got it ready?
There's more to it than that! I should hope so!
We'll probably do it at about 11:30.
So look forward to that, the second half of Stevie Wonder's Living for the City, a week later. I love a show that's carefully planned. So listen,
this isn't a show. This isn't a show. This isn't a radio show. This is.
I don't know what this is.
No, I don't know what it is. We might as well start banging tambourines and it's ridiculous. This is rubbish, right? But wait, some people emailed in, put him in a wheelie bin, went to Blackpool, right? Some people emailed in the songs with stories in it. One of them was Babushka, and he went, "What's that?" And I went to ask Katie Bush, what is it? I said, oh, it's about a woman who dresses up as another woman and seduces her husband. He went, they wouldn't work. Just dismissed it like that. Why didn't you think it would work?
because you'd know. I mean, say like, right, Suzanne, right, who I go out with, right? She can see me from, say, if I'm coming down the high street.
Yeah.
She knows it's me by the way I walk.
Right.
So, just the fact that this woman went and put a wig on, there is no...
You haven't even heard the song!
I know, but you're saying that she put a disguise on and he's like, oh, I fancy her, and he takes her out, and he doesn't know it's his missus. It's just...
You're not buying it.
I mean, I'm controlling this
Whereas
feature.
the flea with your brain going to Glasgow, perfect sense. Yeah, babushka, rubbish.
Carl, can we have the tomato story after the next tune?
Yeah.
Bit of Coldplay?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Coldplay. Scientist on XFM 104.9. Right. Competition, isn't it?
No, it's Educating Ricky Part 2.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I wasn't even listening. He's doing all the work, I wasn't even listening. Oh, and he's spilled some water down on that. Right, what's this one again then?
Right,
what's the teaser headline?
Teaser headline is, What's Tomato with You?
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Go on. How excited were you when you came up with that? You couldn't wait to come in and tell us, could you?
I think it's a good one because you won't forget it now, will you? Okay. I mean, like the worm one. What's so special about the worm?
You know, a lot of people think that if you cut a worm in half, two worms will grow, but no. What happens is if you cut the head end slightly nearer the tail than the tail will die, but the worm with the head will be okay. So, it's exploded a myth, and it taught me something.
Right, so, the second one, part 2 of Educating Ricky. What's Tomato with You?
Yeah.
What this one's about is, ages ago,
This is scientific.
There's never a date. There's never a country, a location.
Okay, settle down, children. This is A-level history. Right.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. When a mental place with swords was a king. Forget his name, but he was a loony. So, and it was literally ages ago. Yeah. So, good luck in the exam. Yeah.
Right. So, like, you know, alright, many years ago.
Oh, yes. Yeah, cleared that up. Go on.
They thought tomatoes were poisonous. Right?
Okay.
Because what
Hold on, are they going to be proved wrong at the end of this story?
Well,
because I don't want to give away the ending, but is it something to do with are they poisonous tomatoes?
No.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
I don't believe it.
Go
on. They could have been eating tomatoes all this time.
Oh, Steve, what's tomato with you anyway?
Okay, so wait a minute.
Let's just
recap quickly. Many years ago, when people thought tomatoes were poisonous.
Yeah.
Go on,
Well, they didn't know they were poisonous then, because they were still eating them. But what was happening?
Well, they're not. But they're not poisonous.
Ah, but hang on a minute.
Alright, it's not. I'm just going to listen. I'm not even going to talk.
Okay, I'm not going to tackle it anymore.
If you remember, years ago, they didn't have, like, pottery plates. they had lead plates. Right?
What are you talking?
Just let him talk.
Sorry, what year is this?
Let him talk.
Come on.
Plates made out of lead, and what they'd end up doing, they'd say, right, do you want a tomato? And they'd go, yeah, alright. And they'd put the tomato on the lead plate and cut it. And because of the acid in the tomato, right, it would sort of make the lead runny, and the lead would go into the tomato, and they'd say, oh, it's lovely this, and they'd be eating it. They'd get food poisoning, lead poisoning, what have you, and they'd be really ill. So, they thought tomatoes were poisonous, so they didn't eat them for many years.
And when you say they, do you mean the people of Narnia?
Yeah, this didn't happen.
Where was this happening?
Sort of in Britain, and that.
You put him on the spot there. Oh, I hope there's no, uppity pupils at this school when they go, what do you mean, sir? Oh, if you're gonna, I'm fed up with you.
Do you understand?
No.
So the
No, you've got, no, right, okay, first of all, Carl, where'd you get this information from?
Where did I get
14 times
that?
as well?
Do you know,
you can't remember?
I don't know where I got that from. I don't know where I got it from. But why don't you think that makes sense?
But, what? Someone once got lead poisoning from a tomato?
Not just one, loads, and then all of a sudden... No.
Why is this educating me?
Because I'm telling you that tomatoes,
I can't take anything away from this. Yeah, I don't know what to take away from this. What have I learned? What have I learned? Don't mix lead with tomatoes. Why is this educational in any shape or form? What are you telling me? A long time ago in the land of Glunk, right, where the ninnies did slib, right, they thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate plates of lead. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we all know tomatoes aren't poisonous.
What
Is that what we're taking from the story?
Is that the moral of the story? Don't believe these people that I'd never heard of before. What are you talking about, Carl?
I think it's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, yeah.
Is this the same people that were spreading those malicious worm rumours?
My hangover's coming back. I've got to get some water. Play a record that was rubbish. I'm eating.
Hey?
I'm eating.
So am I. Carl, you have to carry on.
Right, yeah.
We're all eating.
Crisps, food crisps.
So last week, yeah, you were playing your feature, that song I shouldn't switch off because I'm enjoying the story.
Yeah.
And we played Living for the City, only you played the single mix, which doesn't have the entire second act, if you will. Yeah. So, Carl, you've not heard it before.
You're excited. Heard it before.
You're excited to hear the second act, because as far as you're aware, there was a young guy, he's living with his family, they're fairly impoverished in Mississippi, but, you know, they're happy, they're getting on alright. But you're not even aware that he's moving to the big city.
No, it just fades out.
Well, that's the city in question.
I mean, I've liked this song for, must be, you know, 3 or 4 years, and I've always listened to the single version. I had no idea that I didn't know the full story. So,
yeah. It's not, I mean, and I know your attention to detail, you like to know the full story, like, where everything was.
Well, the whole idea of the feature is to say, you know, you've got to listen to the song.
Where was the lead plate thing? Where was the lead plate thing? Where was the lead plate thing?
That was like a few years back.
Where was it?
In Britain and Scotland.
Yeah.
It was a problem all over the world. They had to deal with it.
You're making it up now.
Is it something you saw in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway.
Yeah. So the Lion and the Witch, go on.
Go on.
So far then, what did we learn in this story from
Stevie? We learned so far from Stevie that there's a young lad, as I say, he's got a family, he's fairly happy, except they're very poor, and they struggle to get by, but they're happy and they're doing it anyway. He's moving to the big city. Carl, this is the bit you didn't realise. Just play the track.
Okay, here we go. So this is halfway through.
This is halfway through the tune now. This is, you've not heard this before, have you?
Let's go.
Sorry, we accidentally played an episode of Kojak. By mistake. We were going to play a song.
Carl, what did you make of that then?
Yeah, what's happening there then?
Eh? He was living with his family, he was fairly impoverished.
He's moved to the new bus he was on, was it?
Right, so
what's your take on it, Carl?
After hearing that, what I've worked out by it, the first part that we heard last week, everything's alright, but it's not that great living in Mississippi, right? So he goes, I'm gonna go to New York. There's plenty of work there. Yeah. They'll sort of accept me as, you know, and everything. So he goes there, and, the weird thing is, he's hardly, like, been in New York for a second. He gets on a bus, all of a sudden some coppers arresting him. He's like, what's going on? And then he's got 10 years. I mean, what you can't hear, because the levels are quite bad. I mean, I work with sound. I can't really hear what's going on.
You're criticising Stevie Wonder,
I'm sort of guessing that he didn't pay his bus fare or something. And,
10 years!
He got 10 years for that.
I really don't know what was going on.
Right. Oh. But you're not happy, because obviously it's quite
do you think Stevie Wonder left out some vital ingredients in the story, in your education? Like where it was, or... at least he got where it was. You can tell what year it is. It's, right in the mid-70s there, that funky New York 70s sound.
Alright.
Yeah.
You're pretty disappointed, aren't you? You're pretty worried, because...
So what went on?
Yeah.
What happened?
You're aware, Carl, because that shows quite a bad image of New York. It's quite an intolerant city, by all accounts. They arrested a guy.
But it is quite
seemingly
bad,
for being black.
That's one song where you shouldn't go to New York. Killing a Georgie Rod Stewart. That lad, he was doing alright in Scotland and said, I'm gonna go to the big city. He got done in. Yeah. Seems to me it's that you don't go there if you've got like problems. Don't think New York's the answer.
Right.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. So what you're saying that if you're a bit fed up with your life, but you live with your mum and she's like really nice and you got friends and life's not that bad.
Yeah.
Don't go and be murdered, or what? What are you saying? Don't go and be murdered.
Well,
don't go and what? Go on.
Leave home, but don't go to New York.
Right.
There's other places.
Where would you go? Sheffield?
Don't know, but
yeah.
But so you're a little mank lad, weren't you? You're in your garden. We had your train set. Your brother blew up. There was a horse next door, and you thought, oh, I want to go to London. So, do you know what I mean? You're like that.
Yeah, but
you're in many ways like the fella in that song, and like Georgie.
No, because
in many ways you are a bit like Georgie, aren't you?
I had a car, so...
No, are you a little bit like Georgie in many ways?
I didn't get on a bus, I had a car. So I wasn't gonna have the problem he had, for a start.
Right.
But, I mean, I suppose there's loads of things you can look at that story and take out of it. That's what I like about the feature, right?
What?
So...
That's what you like about the feature?
The feature that we're doing.
Oh, right.
That song's got a good story.
If you had a time machine, where would you go? What year would you go? Would you
Probably the 60s.
Okay, would you go forward at all? What's your favourite year in the future?
No, I don't know.
If someone could tell your future to you,
I wouldn't do it,
you wouldn't want to know.
No.
You wouldn't, straight away, you knew it. Straight away, there was no hesitation.
Yeah.
You've thought about this, haven't you?
No.
You've thought to yourself, if someone can reveal my future,
Carl,
you're not gonna know.
you've got to do one of these things, right? You know, like Quantum Leap, like a fella in Quantum Leap. What's his name?
I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a little fella with Hal, and he's telling you that, right? Would you rather go back, and you go into someone's body, would you rather go back, you could go back to be, a donkey that's carrying Mary to Bethlehem. You could, be a Saigon prostitute in 1975. All those GIs queuing up.
Think about it.
Or, you could be, Moby Dick.
Which of those would you be, Carl? Think about it.
Probably Moby Dick's the best option, isn't it?
Okay. What work have we got?
Play a tune, Carl. After this, we need to educate Ricky for the final time.
Final time educating Ricky.
We've still got to give away these tickets to DJ Shadow, and we've got to give the answers to your magnificent
we've only got a quarter of an hour. It's not enough time in this show. It's packed.
Race for the prize from the Flaming Lips. Competition answer time, is it, Carl?
Yeah, we did this like about an hour ago.
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters.
With Karl Pilkington.
Yeah, I gave you some initials. The initials sort of made up a band. We had LR, we had NS,
Yeah,
we had FL.
Well, give us the clues. Give us the clues in the answers.
What?
Right, so LR, the clue was, I'll take that book to the toilet with me.
What's
the
the
answer?
answer?
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed.
Good.
That's very good. That's very good, Carl. Well done.
Alright, okay, next one. FL, blow the candles out before you eat the cake. Yeah, we just played them. Flaming Lips.
There we are.
Very
okay, and the final one was NS. How can I wash up in something shaped like this?
Yeah.
That was NSYNC. Yeah.
NSYNC.
NSYNC. It'd be a bit.
NSYNC.
If you had a sink, you wash up in a sink.
Yeah.
Shaped like an N. You'd be like, oh, have I got everything out? So,
has anyone got that? Wow.
Right.
Well,
so
no, there are right answers. I have to say, Carl, you've done very well. It was an enormous response. I'm just going to click on one of these emails randomly. I'm not even going to look. Who we got here? We've got Kath Turner is the winner. Kath Turner gets those great DVDs and CDs, including
watching Children of the Corn tonight.
Children of the Corn.
She was going out, but I imagine she's going to phone a few friends and say, I can't come out, I'm ill.
Exactly.
They go, you're not watching Children of the Corn. I go, no.
And we've learnt as well that there are about 5 other sequels to Children of the Corn, so maybe we'll give those away consecutive
Brilliant.
weeks.
What else have we got to do? Have we got anything else to do? Quick, Carl, what would you rather be, a tree frog or a tree crab? Quick. What would you rather be?
Straight away.
Tree frog or a tree crab?
Tree frog.
Why?
Don't know what one is. You just said pick one quick.
A tree frog or a tree crab? What would you rather be, a tree frog, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you rather be, a tick or a leech? They both suck blood, there's not a lot in it.
Leech.
Go on. Why?
Because I heard they've got, I was reading about them yesterday, they've got 300 teeth, and what they do is, if they get on you, right, and you didn't get it off with a match or anything, it would stay there, and it eat 5 times the amount of blood to make it 5 times bigger than the size of itself.
Oh, you're a scientist!
And then it'll just go, oh, I've had enough, and it falls off.
Okay.
Naturally.
What would you rather be, a puppy or a kitten?
Kitten.
Why?
Just look better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some great adverts there on XFM.
I enjoyed them.
104.9.
Absolutely. Listen, we have to give away these 3 pairs. We have to give these away, Rick.
Yeah.
We've got 3 pairs of
I
DJ
know, but
Shadows.
this is so jam-packed. I think we've planned too much for this show.
We have indeed.
Next week, I think we have a little bit flabbier next week.
Rick,
do less.
Rick, can we chill out next week, please?
Yeah. Go on then.
So yeah, any ideas, guys? Any questions? Sort of DJ Shadow related questions? Any Shadow or DJ questions? Carl, any ideas?
What does the word DJ mean?
Yeah, it's too easy. I'll tell you something I do know.
Go on.
Right. But I can't really get a question out of it.
Go on, just tell us.
There's a shadow somewhere.
It's any good, is it?
I'm loving it
No, right. There's a shadow. I think it was in America.
Yeah.
And it's on a quiet road. I'm guessing somewhere like Boston. That's what you mentioned.
Okay.
Right?
No.
Somewhere like Boston, and people at night used to see this shadow moving about, and they'd go, "What's that?" Right? And it got known. The town, the little local town, got known for this shadow, but it didn't cause any problems. People
What are you talking about?
Well, it was like,
You've lost me.
What are you talking about?
do you know, like, some places get famous, like, Scotland's got the Loch Ness Monster and that, but it doesn't cause any, but it doesn't cause any problems.
It doesn't exist, go on.
Right? So there's this shadow walking about on the road.
What do you mean? No, what, see, again, rubbish.
Right, so it's
Nonsense.
walking about,
Where did you read this? Where did you see
walking
this?
about, this was on the internet, and I'm sure...
sorry! Sorry!
Right.
I thought it was shite. I didn't know it was on the internet.
Right, so this shadow is moving about, and,
Independently of an object.
yeah, and the local mayor and that is like, yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's not harming anyone.
The mayor involved!
Was he elected to that post?
Hey, Mayor, we got a problem down here. Seems like a shadow. Well, it's not causing any. No, it's just
causing any problems.
Yeah, go on.
But that's the thing. It was left for years, and then it did start causing problems.
I see. That's it. If you leave these shadows to go unchecked, Rick, they go crazy.
Yeah.
You let them run amok in the city.
Yeah.
You've got to stab
What
around
did it do?
on
What did it
Roman
do?
shadows.
What did the shadow do?
It was pushing people off the bikes.
It was what?
It was pushing people off the bikes.
Oh,
I'll find out more for that next week. Right, that'll tease them.
you're a maniac.
We'll do more on that. We haven't had time for educating.
Please never have children.
Right, listen.
Just promise me now you'll never have kids.
We haven't got time now
Okay,
for-
listen. All right, DJ Shadow, have we got time to give these tickets away?
Yeah, if they just call up, we'll...
No, I'll tell you what. I've got a question. Right?
Go on.
Where does Karl think this may have taken place? If you've been listening to the show, where do you think this evil shadow has been running amok? Let us know. The number, Karl?
Good question.
08700 800 1234. So,
Excellent.
but that's it. We are actually out of time.
We are indeed.
now.
Have I got time for a song for the ladies?
It's a bit tight. I was
Why?
told to finish
It's
now.
5:02.
I know, but we've got to get finished early today, so...
Why?
Just because we have, and we're wasting more time talking about why we have to.
Oh, this is pathetic.
So, they call up, where did they see the ghost?
Yeah.
And you've got to pick the tickets up from reception. You can go tonight, see DJ Shadow. That's
Shoddy.
it.
This
Right?
is shoddy.
Right, see you then.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington, doing the button stuff. Actually becoming a little bit of a producer.
Karl,
He's put a
yeah.
bit of work in, hasn't he? He's come up with a few games, and we made him... He's getting a bit stressed when we shout at him, because the mics don't work, or it's hanging off, it was too hot in here, he couldn't get the, thing working last week. I mean, I really would throw this studio away and get a real one.
Yeah. Well, I'd get one of those ones you can buy for like tenner from Argos.
Argos, yeah, like Bon Tempe, my first studio.
My first
With a little
broadcasting
picture
studio.
of Karl on it, yeah.
Exactly. That'd be great product placement.
What have you got this week for us, Karl? Because again, we've put very little. I said I would put. I'm not hungover, but I've put nothing into
Rick, have
it
you done
then.
any work for this week's show?
No.
None
Have
whatsoever? No.
Okay, Karl, what have you got? What have you got? Quick, keep them. It's 5 past. They're turning over already. They're finding other things.
Karl, what have you come up with?
There's
Right.
melon stew. There's
Well,
everything. Well, go on.
We've got, after the success of last week, Rockbusters.
Okay.
We're doing that again.
Sorry, were you on the same show as us?
I thought it went alright last week.
Yeah, okay.
good.
Right, so we'll be doing that. Got some nice prizes, which,
Oh, what prize? What arbitrary films have you got? Have you got?
Don't tell her yet. Don't tell
No,
her.
I'll tell you what. If it's Children of the Corn 2, then can I enter this competition?
there you go.
No.
What is that?
He's got some different prizes. Maybe I should just tease the audience with those a bit later, Rick, because
Okay,
there's some
yeah.
exciting stuff there.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
Right, so
I don't
let's-
want to give too much away, Rick, but one of them is a copy of The Office on DVD.
Is anything like maybe Burt Reynolds' straight-to-video film? Are there any of those in
Sadly, nothing quite as classy.
there? Fist.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
so
go on.
we've got that lot to give away.
Yeah.
We've
yeah.
got,
Go on. Hurry up, quick.
educating Ricky, where
Yeah,
teachers stuff.
because you taught me that people used to eat tomatoes off lead plates in the land of Narnia
Yeah,
last week,
that's
which was
what we learned
good.
last week.
Yeah.
No, what
Is
was-
it only tomatoes they ate off the lead plates, by the way? Why didn't they think other fruits and vegetables were poisonous?
No, it wasn't. It was because tomatoes had acid in them. That was the problem. You see, you don't listen, right?
Well, lots of fruits have acid in them.
Yeah, but they didn't eat them back then. they didn't have bloody kiwi fruit and stuff, did
Don't
they,
say
back then?
bloody. You're a producer. You'll start saying shit and cock and stuff. You start saying bloody.
Tits.
Play the.
Hang on, right, and...
Go on, play
and
the
keep him hooked, right?
Yeah.
We've still got a song with a story in it.
Yeah. You don't want to play babushka, do you? He doesn't like the idea of babushka. I told him that was a story.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't like it. A devil went down to Georgia. Someone sent in. You know, he's looking for a soul to steal.
Yeah.
Doesn't like it. Won't you like that?
Do you know the song?
Not particularly.
Right, it's a song about a lad who goes into a pub on a normal night. And
it's in, sort of the deep south of America, New Orleans, something like that. It's, you know, it's not the old Kent Road.
Right, okay.
Okay, go on.
Goes into a pub, there's a devil in there, who's getting a bit cocky, he's had a bit to drink, and he's saying, do you wanna, sort of gamble your soul away with me, and we'll see who's best at playing the violin.
Yeah.
And, I think the lad wins in the end, but it's not real enough. Whereas the one...
Oh! What? Not like the Shadow that got fed up and started pushing kids off bikes?
Rick, I think you're referring to stuff that no one made sense of last week.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we should refer to last week.
Let's play Mock Turtles, Can You Dig It? And then we'll come back and we'll talk about that.
I've come to the conclusion, Rick, we should never refer to stuff Carl said in the past, because it would just take too long to explain.
Okay, alright, that's fair enough. Mock Turtles. Can you dig it?
Indeed.
What I've done there is I've taken the title and I've done it like I'm talking to someone.
Sure.
XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
So, Carl, how excited are you about Ricky's celebrity boxing match? Are you going to be there? Are you going to come along? Are you aware of this? You're aware of all this, aren't you?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
We can't name the opponent, because that should be a surprise. But anyway, it's for charities. It's a charity boxing match.
Yeah.
And
I always wanted to beat someone up for charity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a good cause.
But the thing about Ricky is, I don't know if you're aware of this, Carl, but Ricky's one of these men who, you know, he doesn't mind sort of, you know, making a fool of himself on the telly and being funny and stuff, but if people said to him, right, you can either be Britain's funniest man, universally agreed that you're the funniest man in Britain, or you could, like, beat some gangsters up in a pub, he would go that, oh, please, just let me beat people up in a pub, and maybe like an old man's being hassled, like, by some street youths, and you come in and, like, smash some bottles over their heads and sort of sort it out.
Against the odds, though?
Against the odds, yeah, there's about 5 of them against you.
Sure.
So, because he's got this kind of...
Get to the point, come on.
Well, the point is, he quite likes the idea of being sort of macho, and you know what I mean, and kind of a tough guy, you know, because he grew up in a rough...
like boxing.
Yeah, but you'd love the idea of people going, don't mess with Ricky Gervais. If someone said, don't mess with Ricky Gervais, that would be exciting, wouldn't it? Never mess with Ricky Gervais, he will destroy you. That's what you'd love.
Go on.
Because you used to do karate, didn't you? You were a karate.
Oh, I used to go, yeah.
Didn't you get all the way up to white belt?
No, I was one away from black, and then I stopped, because that's where it started working nice.
Oh, yeah, one step away from black.
Oh, was it?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I was chatting to him last night in the pub, because, obviously the boxing match is in about 5 weeks' time, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
and, anyway... He, was sat there, Carl. I don't know if you know this about Ricky, but, he's taken to smoking cigars.
No, I do.
Are you aware of this?
I had the occasional one.
He got a cigar, he got like a Monte Cristo out of his pocket. It was ludicrous. He looked like George Papard for the A-Team, wasn't it? It was pathetic, and he was drinking Guinness. And I was saying to him, but aren't you doing a boxing match soon? And,
I haven't started training yet. I'm starting training next week.
You're not concerned that it's gonna have an impact?
Well,
I mean, what I'm saying is, you know, like, the boxers, you know, they normally put in some effort and stuff.
Like years of training.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean?
Getting up at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you reminded me of Frank Bruno when he was preparing for Panto. Not when he was...
I don't think he even smoked then, did he, and drank? No.
So I don't, what's your thinking, Rick? Because you know you're gonna get your face pummeled. You know that, I mean, they're gonna destroy you. You haven't got a chance.
That's why I left it this long, so I definitely lost my looks.
But you haven't got a chance.
You're having a laugh.
Have you ever taken a punch to the face?
Sorry, listen, sorry.
But I'm genuinely concerned.
Is this sort of psychological training? Because...
No, it's not psychological training, it's a warning. I've spoken to your friends and your loved ones, and they all agree. We've got a petition going. We're sending it to the BBC. Please do not let this man box. Anyone else, please. But they're gonna beat you. Seriously, I mean, have you ever had a punch, like a boxing glove, in the face?
No.
I think you should let us punch you next week live on the show.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, because because you've got to get used to it. Because I think you're gonna either, cry, just start crying uncontrollably, or just run away. You'll just run away. You'll just climb out the ring and run off.
Yeah, this is the same tactic that Ali used against Foreman in Rumble in the Jungle.
But I just...
Oh, dear.
Because I think a boxing glove... Because I know you're wearing, like, huge... Aren't you wearing, like, huge kind of foam boxing gloves?
We're not, no. No, we're not. We're using, normal, amateur ones.
Are you wearing boxing gloves like those ones they used to have on Gladiators? And everyone bites the dust? Those big foam gloves. You just slap each other in the
braces.
Yeah, exactly.
And a big sumo suit.
Exactly.
So, I should be okay.
Do you get to, you get some kind of head protection, do you?
Yeah, it's amateur. It's amateur, so it's
amateur, you say?
No, I mean...
So there's no title.
No, I mean, I think the amateur is head guards, vest, and, 16-ounce gloves or something, as opposed to professional, which is no vest, bare-chested.
Right.
Maybe I can ask to fight bare-chested, because I'd quite like to show off my body.
Yeah.
If I could.
I think wrestling is really better for you. But I don't mean like those kind of like The Rock and people like that. I'm talking about Big Daddy, giant haystacks, that kind of.
That'd be good.
Where you can just throw yourself on someone. Where
they can sort of like be nearly dying, but then they can do a stomach butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Stomach to stomach. That's a good move, isn't it? In British wrestling, I always like that one.
Yeah, no, I think wrestling, you would...
like two elephant seals fighting over a female.
Is it true that you've spent, knowing you've spent more time deciding what tune you're going to enter the ring to?
I want to come out to California by Tupac and Dr. Dre. I think that'd be really good.
I think that's embarrassing.
And I'm going to come up with loads of little midgets to make me look really big.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what the BBC think of that, but it might be a...
I don't know. Maybe we should take some suggestions as to songs that would be perhaps more appropriate.
Okay.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
A fatty bum bum.
Yeah.
Play a record, Carl.
It is gonna be...
He's dissed me.
It's gonna be
He's dissed me.
Next week, you take a punch to the jaw next week on air.
Cheering breaks, long distance on XFM 104.9. On the way in, right, you know those little cars? They look like a little bubble car. They're modern ones. They look like half a car.
Is that like a smart car? Is that what
yeah, they look like they just look like a toy car, and you can park them sideways.
Is there only room for two people?
Yeah. It's just like the half of the front of a Volkswagen just cut in half, right? And I saw one going on Oxford Street, and it's a police car, a real police car, right?
Really?
Yeah, and. I mean, I thought, well, what happens if they have to chase someone? They couldn't, but I don't think that's the point. Because it was written on the side, it said something like, cleaner, something, more efficient. So I think they're making the point that we're cruising round in this car like we're on the beat, and it's using less energy and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first thing I thought of, right, was that those two policemen, they must have been going, oh, Sarge, don't let us have that one. Can't we have the Granada?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's so embarrassing.
I know, you know, police, they're doing, you know...
But you've got to respect them.
Yeah, of course,
street toughs have got to respect
exactly, them. I just don't know if you have to...
Well, the only thing more embarrassing...
What if you're really tall and you have to climb out of one and you're a copper? Are there any policemen out there who have been... asked to drive one of these cars? If you're listening, do you think police listen to this?
The only thing that would be more embarrassing is if you had to patrol on one of those bikes the goodies used to ride. That's the only thing I think that would be more pathetic.
A pogo stick?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. Or on roller skates. Yeah. But not like roller blades. Roller skates, those really old roller skates.
Have you seen
that you tie on your socks.
Yeah, have you seen those little bikes that look like clown bikes that the couriers use now? They're about a foot high. They're little.
I saw one the other day on it. My head turned. Yeah, they're really bizarre.
Just think
they're the ones that they fold up.
Yeah, but think of policemen chasing you on that.
Well, I always remember that even in America when I started seeing policemen riding bikes. It didn't seem to me. It seemed.
Oh, they're quite cool. They were the ones that go through Central Park on the mountain bikes.
Yeah,
but that's really cool, isn't it? They, you know, they.
It looks like they should be delivering
whiz along at about 30 miles an hour, and they can just deliver
do you know what I mean? Because like on motorbikes, on a Harley Davidson or whatever, I'm not messing with a cop. Chips. Now that's cool. Coppers.
Yeah.
But people in a smart car or you know, it is a bit embarrassing.
But I suppose it is that, or it's better than walking. You see,
next we'll see them in those. If you really want to be kind of worried about the environment, though, you know those little taxis you see that people pedal. They pedal around Soho.
Yeah, and when it's like a riot squad, there's four in the back.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing, right? If they need to arrest someone.
Yeah, here we go. Go on.
No, well, what do they do? Because they do only sit two, so do they have to flag a cab down or something for the criminal?
We'll give you the money. Get a receipt. Take
you definitely will go there. Yeah. You definitely will, because we've been caught this way before.
Exactly.
The last bloke, he just ran off. No, I won't run off. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Policeman, I'll take your car. Then okay, go on then. You definitely bring it back though. I will. Well, isn't there something in America where when they arrest someone in America, they don't take them back to the station and fill out all the forms. They just take them back to the station, and then they go and fill the forms out in a like a cafe or something, so they're still looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl told me that.
They're what? So they're still on patrol, is it?
Yeah, so they said they're doing all their paperwork, but they're in the, a cafe window and they're looking out.
Do you know, like how they say in this country so much police time's wasted by having to go back to the office and filling out loads of forms?
That sounds like some policeman going, yeah, I could get a lot more work done if I was in a Starbucks.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of criminals in the pub, and if I would, and I get to keep the receipts.
Yeah, I mean, what's safest is if I didn't wear my uniform and probably got drunk.
Yeah.
With some mates.
Or a lot happens in, looking out my bedroom window, so if I was just like snoozing, snoozing, and when I heard a noise, I just popped, look out, oi!
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of crime, in Marbella over the next 2 weeks. You want to pay me
so
to
if there's a policeman listening who has to drive one of those cars, were you annoyed when your sergeant
It is the most embarrassing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, I think the pogo stick.
Pogo stick one.
Or the pogo police. The triple tandem. That's
triple
great.
tandem.
We should get that.
We should get
when we do our road show. Carl does all the pedalling. Yeah. I'm in the basket in the front.
Hello, Western Superman!
Play a record, Carl. What have you got?
What do you want? Mott the Hoople?
Oh, Mott the Hoople, yeah. Dug it out of the library. Yeah. It had one, it had Greatest Hits, which was enough, wasn't it?
What have you got for us, Rick?
Roll Away the Stone, I think. Coldplay, The Scientist.
Have you seen the video for that?
No, but...
Absolutely magnificent.
Is it?
It's brilliant.
I was the one who was walking backwards in the woods. Oh, yes, I have, yeah.
Absolutely extraordinary. Well
I like all their videos.
Coldplay.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
I still haven't worked out how to do that one with the... whether it's a filter they just turn up the light, because it gets light through the duration of the video.
Along, yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive, yeah.
And it's slow as well, so he must have...
I'd like them to win an award.
I'd like them to win awards. I like Coldplay.
Yeah, no, good luck to them. Rick, can I just... Sorry, I don't mean to abuse our position again, but... Bruce Springsteen's performing in London tomorrow night, and you remember I made an appeal to try and get a free ticket. Yeah. Well, I don't even mind paying. I tried to pay, but
that's good of you. No,
I'm a generous kind of guy.
And I thought you were me. No, go on. What are you going to say?
But
you were going to pay for a ticket.
Well,
face value. I mean, you don't want to be ripped off, do you?
No, don't be crazy. Ideally half price.
Yeah.
And I've been chasing kind of my tail, really. I'm not going at the moment. I'm not going, and I'm desperate to see the man. I mean, he's going to do a great concert. It's his only one in London. I can't believe that being on the radio, being on XFM, the listenership's going up apparently. I can't believe I can't get a ticket. I've asked Carl. He's done nothing. He's done nothing.
No, Carl had a very good point.
Nothing.
Carl, say what you said when he was whinging in the break.
First of all, whilst you're moaning, you also asked in the week for a Badly Drawn Boy album.
Yeah.
You got in today.
Yeah.
There's one there for you.
Well, yeah. But it's yin and yang.
And it's like, yeah, but
Carl, what's Steve ever done for you? That's what you got to ask yourself. What has Steve ever done for you?
Well, he took me to the BAFTAs. Yeah, but only 'cause no one else would probably want to go with you.
I can't believe that.
What is this?
I do not believe that. Oh, Steve, I'm going to stitch you up now, Carl. And it's in a nice way, and don't worry, it won't be too bad. He won't take it too bad. Carl sent me a little text message today.
Right.
No,
Oh, what is this?
Right, okay. Okay.
I'm in a very frail mood at the moment.
No, you're like this one. This is funny, because me and him have been, like, sending, trivia back and forth to each other. Which is another point, right? I sent him... Oh, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I thought he'd really be amazed with,
Well, while you're fiddling, if you can make my dream come true, to go and see Bruce Springsteen tomorrow, then give us a call on the usual number.
But like I said, Steve...
What?
Right? It wouldn't be... Right, you just said when the song was on, can't believe it, right? We work at XFM, and I can't get tickets for Springsteen, right? Yeah. We work in radio, we should get tickets. Right, now think
of the I'm willing to pay for.
Yeah, but think of the... Yeah, but if it's sold out, it's sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? But that's just something they say.
Right, that's just what they say, is it? Right, so everybody on local radio stations say, do you know, I like that Bruce Springsteen, I want a free ticket, right? So another say...
I tried to phone, I phoned for an hour and a half, I couldn't get through.
Not long enough.
I've put the hours in.
Not long enough.
Not long enough.
What are you talking about? I've put the hours in.
No.
Right? So another 400 people turn up at the gig. They cram them all in. There's people being crushed. They've paid the money early. They were up early that day when the phone lines were open, whilst you were probably sleeping and that. So they're dedicated, and they're the ones at the front getting crushed.
What?
Would your mum and dad be happy if you were there getting crushed?
I don't mind. I'll sit at the side of the stage and watch him.
Yeah, but
I don't mind.
But everyone will say that then. And then before you know it, no one can see anything because you're all on the stage.
On this one. Right, I'm gonna give you this here. I'm handing over my mobile phone to Steve to read the... You can see it's from Carl at the top, but just read it out as you scroll down. Just read it out loud.
Is this a text message from...
Yeah, this is a text message to me from Carl. Read it out.
To see at night as well as an owl, you would need eyes the size of grapefruits. If only Stephen could turn his head right round as well. Carl, I can't believe it. What upsets me most, Carl, right, is not the fact that you've been slagging me off behind my back. It's the fact that you've got the cheek to come on here and moralise because you failed to get me tickets and make a dream come true. You've come on here trying to pass the buck and say that it's a health and safety problem, when in actual fact it's a Karl Pilkington problem.
Look at that, see that, I've got it in a bin.
I'm devastated, you know.
I didn't thought, let's play a record.
I'm upset.
I should have eaten this banana off air.
What's the number?
It's 08700 800 1234, but if it's sold out, Steve, it's sold out.
A bit of a classic here, R.E.M.
I bet if Ricky wanted to go, it'd be fine. I'm sure someone could sort it out then.
Who?
Oh, if Ricky Gervais wants to go, then
I'm going.
Are you?
No.
You want some tickets, then?
U2, Electrical Storm, that's great. That's great, I love that. On XFM, 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Karl, I want you to tell Steve what you told me in the week. About the snake, about the anaconda, how to... Right, this is Karl's method. He's not scared of the anaconda, the 30-foot long, biggest, scariest snake.
No, you were talking about stuff, weren't you, about in jungles and that, and animals.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember reading about, say if you're in the jungle, and you get tired and you go to sleep, right, and you sort of wake up and you feel something on your leg, and you look down, and it's an anaconda, right?
Yes.
And it's swallowing your feet, because apparently they always go from the feet up. They never eat you from the head. So,
okay. Shall I save these points to the end? Cause
make a list of the points.
Cause they always eat head first, cause the way the fur goes, where they have to take a capybara or even a rat, they take it from the head first.
Make a point.
Okay,
make some notes.
Okay, so that's wrong.
We'll come back to
Okay, next, go on. So they always eat you from the feet, go on.
So they're swallowing your feet, and it said on the website, if you wake up and you see this anaconda doing that, sort of eating away at your feet, don't panic.
Don't panic. I'm just writing this down. Don't panic. All done. Okay, go on.
Don't try and kick it off.
Okay.
Just let it sort of swallow you. But only up to your knees.
Okay. Why not kick it off straight away? Cause
I think it sort of gets a bit angry, it starts thrashing about, and it can swallow faster, I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing that bit.
Okay. Just put a question mark by that.
Okay, pop a question mark next to eat knees. Eat knees. So eat it up to your knees.
It's up to your knees, and then what you do is you get a knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you cut.
And how do you get a knife? Do you walk over to the kitchen?
I was gonna pop over, get knife. Where's that coming from? Get the knife.
You always have a knife.
Okay. Always have a knife, of course you do. Otherwise you're a fool. Always have a knife, okay?
Well, come on.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go into a jungle...
Always have a knife, okay.
Always have a knife, yeah.
Simple.
Could I just suggest something? You know, suppose you're wearing combat trousers, and the knife is actually in the trousers by the knee, the sort of pocket by the knee. What happens then? I suppose you could still reach into the mouth, couldn't you? So anyway, you've got a knife. Let's say you've got a knife. Let's say you've fallen asleep, the anaconda's chewing your feet, you let it eat up to the knees, you've got a knife. What do you do then, Karl?
Right. So it's up to your knees, and what you do, you get your knife that you got out of your pocket earlier, and you cut it at the mouth, right? Do you know, like either side of the lips?
Right.
So you're sort of cutting it in half.
Right, like a Chelsea smile.
And it can't, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It can't do anything. It wasn't ready for that. It can't move about because it's got, like, your legs in its mouth. And peel it off and walk away.
Okay. My main point, really, is this, Karl. Never will an anaconda or any constrictor, python, boa constrictor, just start eating a sleeping man. He will crush you to death first. That's why they're called constrictors. They're not called gobblers, are they? Or holy swallowers. They're called constrictors. Why would he start eating something? Is that how they take down antelope? Just start chewing their leg? Oh, it's gone off. I'll tell you what, lads. They get together, the snakes got there and said, I'll tell you what, we're losing a lot of prey by just living at their ankles. They're running away. Let's crush them to death first so they can't move, then we can swallow them. You're a fool.
So anyway, right, so I was telling him this bit of information because we started a feature last week. Well, week before.
Sorry, Karl, can we just go back to the crushing you to death first?
Yeah, but, well, I read it.
He's won there. He's beating you there, Rick.
Okay. Did it say what to do if it starts crushing you to death first? No. Did it say what to do? If, supposing it had this meeting, and it started crushing you, and you woke up and it was actually round your chest. And every time you tried to take a breath and breathed out a little bit, it just tightened its grip, because it can feel that. What'd you do then?
You sort of tighten yourself up anyway, because I've read about that.
Yeah.
If one does start wrapping around you, you sort of make yourself into a ball, first of all, and it'll wrap around you, but it's alright because you're protecting your lungs, so it can't crush you, and then you just sort of shout for help. And you shout
help with this 30-foot snake. Do you know how it works? It gets as tight as it can. It can feel as tight as it can, right? With these huge muscles, right? Yep. Right? When you leave a bit of breath out, it tightens again.
You won't be that out of breath. You haven't been running anywhere, so you can just go.
What? And when do you get the new mouthful of oxygen?
Just breathe very slowly, like you do.
How? Do you know what breathing is? Do you know what breathing is? It's extending your rib cage, right? Intercostal muscles between the ribs. Contract like that. Okay, making the rib cage expand, which pulls air in through. It's like a bellow. That you can't just breathe via the mind. It's a physical process. It's your rib cage pulling over.
Maybe I'm special, but I can do little breaths without my rib cage.
Play a record, Steve.
Yeah, you're special.
Play a record.
No.
You can't take little breaths without moving your rib cage.
Can I just give you the titles, because we're running out of time? We've got a competition to do.
Okay, alright, let's just leave the anaconda discussion. Why don't you agree to disagree, and we'll see who survives if you crash land in the jungle.
Right, so,
what is this? What are you doing now?
This is Educating Ricky, right?
Oh, good, I'm gonna look forward to this.
Yeah. 3 topics that I teach you every week.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I should just remind people, you normally summarise each of these in a kind of bullet point heading, which you tease us with, so what have you, reduced them to this week?
Right, we've got, Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman, good.
Yeah, what else have we got? We've also got, what else is it? It's not his vault. Yeah?
It's not what?
It's not his vault.
Okay.
Yeah? And we've also got, get a lobe of this.
Get a lobe of this?
Yeah.
Carl, they're genius. Rick will be choosing one of these after New Order.
Foo Fighters and All My Life on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. So, just before we do Educating Ricky, this is where Karl thinks he can give me something of interest and teach me something to take away. Last week I found out that, somewhere in a strange land, people thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate them with lead. Things like that. What was the other one you told me?
What else was it last week? Bit of worms. Cut me off.
Yeah. Oh, I sent him a text message. I was on the train, a bit bored, and, I read in, I think it was Metro, scientists have found out that, worms get stressed, and they found out that, the fat ones, didn't live as long. And when they checked the thin ones that lived longer, they found out they had a gene for de-stressing them. Right? Karl, do you remember what you said?
No.
He went, well, that's stupid, isn't it? He said, did these other ones die of natural causes? I went, yeah. He went, alright. Because it could be that the fat ones couldn't get off the pavement quick enough and got squashed. So maybe the scientists go, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, they come to think of it, they were flat as well as fat.
I think the reason that the worms are getting stressed is because people like Karl are cutting them in half to try and make 2 snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two worms.
Well,
yeah.
well.
That's the concern.
he said they can't even commit suicide if they're stressed by cutting their throat. I also sent what I thought was quite interesting, that the scientists have found that the elephant hasn't got the best memory. The sea lion has,
right.
Based on they've got a sea lion and they got it back into the old laboratory 10 years after it taught it a simple trick, and it could still do the trick. What did you say to that, Karl?
I'd say they don't go up to much anyway, so if you do teach it something, it is going to remember it.
Sure.
Because it's got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And then it also, I mean, I like sea lions, they look nice and everything, but what do they do?
What was it? Sea lions?
Yeah, what are they here for? It's another jellyfish, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it's there and people know about them, but what do they do?
Yeah. What do we do?
What do we do, Karl?
Well,
what do we do?
A cat, first, Steve said, is good for your heart. So
why is it all geared to what's good for us?
Well. Anyway.
Educating Ricky.
Good, we've settled that then, go on.
The titles that are, meant to sort of pull you in.
Yeah.
We've got, what was it? Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah.
You've got, it's not his vault. and, get a load of this.
Get a load of this. So, which pun do I pick first? I think I'll go for, get a load of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Yeah, get a lobe of this, yeah.
Well, that's a story about a girl who, she was deaf, right, for 4 years. And, it happened quite a bit back this.
What year? Or was it,
I think it was
ages ago, was it?
Yeah, quite a bit back. She was deaf for about 4 years. Having an argument with her mum, it said, which I didn't quite understand. Because I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
But she was having an argument, and a man pushed her against a wall, and she banged her head, and her hearing came back.
Okay.
Was she wearing a Walkman, and it fell out? And she'd realised, oh,
there's no explanation.
There's no explanation? Well, why is that teaching me something then?
Right, so I knew you'd say this, right? So I thought, right, I'll stick something on it. Do you know that bees are deaf?
No! No, you can't just, no! If you ask someone something they don't know the answer to, they don't tell you something else. Just, I'll tell you something else then. I can't answer that, I'll tell you something else. Imagine that. If you asked a teacher. Look, how do birds fly? Wow, if you're gonna do that. Tallest building is, I mean, what?
Well,
that was the equivalent, Karl, of running away when we asked you a question.
Yeah, the intellectual equivalent of going, look over there, there's a monster.
Yeah.
Listen. What do you mean? What she? Okay, so
so her hearing.
There's no explanation. There's no explanation, or you don't know.
Well, there isn't one, is there? Really, it's a bit
What?
weird.
Did the doctors not look into it?
No, I think they just said, "Oh, that's good."
So again, I don't. Where did this information? Is that if you read this on the net? Is that all they put on the net?
There was once a deaf woman who hit her head and she
could
hear.
Hearing came back.
It was bizarre things about being deaf.
Was there three
I've got that book. Yeah, it's a good book. That
was there three more pages you just couldn't be bothered to read on?
Yeah.
No, it was just a little bit. And it
was there a little picture, a cartoon picture?
No pictures. I just read
going,
it.
Ow!
Look,
ow!
If you don't want to know, if you don't want to learn, you know.
Yeah. Okay, it's not his fault. Let me have it's not his fault. You gotta save this. This has gotta teach me something. It'll be an interesting story.
Right, it's not his fault. This fella.
Yeah. What year? Ages ago?
Olden times?
I'd say in the 70s.
Okay.
Would you? Any evidence for that?
And,
does he wear flares in the story?
Right.
Is that your reason?
No, it's a bit like Yuri Geller, this fella, right? Where he's electric.
He's electric.
And, if he walks past the telly would fizz. If he walked past the radio, it all goes like that.
Ooh.
His hair stuck up all the time. And he'd be having a bath and everything would be alright, and then the power would sort of switch on in his body, and the electric in his body made him jump out of the bath. So...
What do you mean, so? What is that so? What does that so mean? You've given us nothing. You've given us nothing.
You'd have to at least give us the scientific explanation.
Yeah.
Electric eels have 400 volts in them.
Oh, is this the running away again?
What was that one called?
Yeah, but
it's not his vault.
But there's a reason not his fault. It's not his fault. I thought it was going to be something about keeping it in a safe.
I think we should do these the other way round. I think you should tell us the story and then we'll hear the pun.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Right, let's leave it.
Play a tune. Educating Ricky.
Doing it. We're not doing it.
No, we are. Oh. What? Don't look at me like that.
Oh, Karl, you're in a bad mood.
The Coral, dreaming of you. Right, do the last one. Do the last one. Carl's saying we're never doing this again because we don't appreciate it. Yeah, Karl, you don't know how good this feature is, mate.
Right, last one.
Yeah.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Go on then, tell me about that one. What's that? What am I going to learn from this?
Right, well, do you know the saying, put a sock in it?
I like it already.
Do you know the saying?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you know where it comes from?
I assume it's shut up, so I'll stuff your mouth with a sock to shut you up.
Years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, am I right?
No, not really. Ages ago.
1970s?
50s,
okay.
I'd say. Do you know the old,
I'd say.
Do you know the old gramophone?
Yeah.
With the big horn on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, well, those stereos didn't have a volume control on them. Right? So they'd be listening to
so you put a sock in the
and you'd
mute.
put something like a sock.
That's a real one, you see. That's taught me something. That's good. That's excellent, Karl. That is the only one that counts, like chewing the fat, if they're true. I'm assuming they are. It works. It's of interest. I haven't got it verified yet, but that is educating Ricky. That's brilliant. I will say, the other two were more entertaining, So, you know, I don't...
Do you understand the distinction, though, between that one and Electrical Man?
And, or I've hit me head, I can hear you, Mum.
Yeah. Can you see the difference, though? Or...
not really, because when I read all three, I took something away from all of them.
What did you take away from the Electrical Man?
I just thought, oh, imagine that. Imagine how annoying that would be.
But that's not education, is
and
it
it's
really?
not taking anything away.
Think about it, right? We take our lives for granted all the time, don't you? You get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I'll get up and walk for a shower. Some people can't walk, right?
Yeah.
This guy, he can't even have a, you know what I mean? It's nice to have a bath, isn't it, when you've got time on your hands and you can relax. This guy can't even do that. It might be alright for a bit, but he's not really enjoying it, because at any moment, it could strike.
Yeah.
So, he can't even do that. He can't comb his hair, because it keeps going a mess.
Yeah.
He can't watch his
Nor can you.
No, he can't.
Does he fight crime? What does he do with his powers?
I think he just has to sit around, because he can't work with machinery.
Right.
Because he'll probably blow a fuse.
Yeah, so he just sits around.
Think about it, what can he do? What normal things can he do?
Skateboarding.
Going for long walks.
Yeah.
Put a wetsuit on.
Well, he couldn't do that.
Why?
Ooh, water and electric.
No, wetsuits aren't actually wet. They're dry initially.
Just put a whole wetsuit on and walk round with flippers and
A wetsuit's not like a dinner jacket that's like really wet.
Well, all I'm saying is think. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And what was
the girl deaf for 4 years hits her head.
Yeah. That's just.
What have you learned from that?
What is that?
Well, imagine how happy you'd be. Remember that time when I nearly died when I choked on a Mr. Freeze pop? Right,
no, tell us that one again.
No, I told you, didn't I?
Tell us again.
Yeah, but the people will remember it, and then it's...
They weren't listening. Go on. What happened?
It was ages ago when my mum and dad used to go out shopping on a Friday.
1970s?
Get the food in. get a week's load of food in the cupboard and that, and we'd, you know, they'd come in with all the food, and we'd all be like, oh god, you know, there's no food left on a Thursday really, so we'd all be hungry on the Friday by the time the food got in.
I love that!
And
That
I'd
they
be
would
like-
need it. I imagine him like jackal puppies.
Yeah.
Just like licking your parents' mouth for food as they come through the door.
So they come in from the supermarket, they're emptying the box. Our kid had got some biscuits and what have you.
Frenzy, just a feeding frenzy, like pigeons.
I grabbed the Mr. Freeze pop and knocked it back really quick, but it wasn't frozen, so I knocked it back so it was like a liquid, and it went down the wrong way, right, and I was choking, right, and I nearly died. It must have been about, how long can you go before you die?
A couple of minutes to do
Right,
it.
I reckon about a minute 50. Right, I was really close to dying.
How do you know you were close to dying?
Did
your life flash before you?
No, but I just was like...
There's loads of instances of him eating pops.
Yeah, exactly.
I just was dead.
40 of those.
Whatever, right?
What do
anyway.
you think you'd see if your life flashed past you? What do you think, which elements would stand out for you, do you think?
What? Start now, go back. What do you remember? What's the first thing you remember?
As a kid.
Yeah, just anything now.
Being in the hall and having our dog licking my face.
That's your earliest memory?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Right, next one's probably being at primary school with Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was that your girlfriend?
Well, a little friend who was a girl.
Sure.
And we used to have like tins with letters in, and you'd have to write stuff. But anyway, what are we doing?
I got confused.
Right, so anyway.
I'm intrigued by the dog that was licking your face.
Well, bin that.
We won't win that.
No, it's a great feature. I just think you need to be a little bit more careful about what you consider to be education.
Gone funny.
I fell
over.
Alright, well,
we'll work on it next week. Play a tune, and what have you got for us? Because we've got a big competition.
We've
Come
got
on!
to do the competition. We've only got 25
Yeah, well, come on then,
Don't worry about it, Carl.
Do
Play a
something,
tune.
play
We'll
a
come back
tune.
with Rockbusters.
What are we playing?
Let's play a bit of Tupac.
Oh, that's what I'm coming out to, isn't it?
Yeah,
The fight.
exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine it.
Whack it up, whack it up.
Tupac, California Love.
Yeah.
And that's the big tune that Ricky will be coming out to when he has his celebrity boxing match. We're all looking forward to that, Rick.
Yeah.
Competition time, Carl?
Oh, Carl's looking forward to this. He's just getting all stressed about his half hour. Like Pete. Oh, go on. Go on,
it's
sorry.
just, we should have done this a lot earlier.
Why?
It keeps him hooked in. Right, if you haven't heard the game before, I'll give you some initials, bit of a cryptic clue, and those initials and the cryptic clue makes up some band. Might not be an XFM band, but it's a band or a pop group or an artist or something.
Yeah.
It's on
What's the
email.
feature called, though? What's the feature
It's called
called?
Rockbusters.
Rockbusters, yeah?
Absolutely.
Do you want to, will we do this on email?
I think we ought to, because you don't like taking calls from the public, do you?
Well, he can't work the machine.
No, that's absolutely right.
It's not that, it's just that, then it's pretty fair for everyone, because
Anyone who's got a computer, you mean? So it's open to anyone who's got you know, a computer or a laptop at their disposal at this precise moment.
Anyway, there's some cracking prizes, Rick, you'll be pleased to know that, obviously, once again, Karl has, managed to collect together an arbitrary assortment of,
Just looking
giveaway stuff.
round the office.
I mean, where did you get these from? Did you, I mean, seriously, where did you get them from? Because it's such an arbitrary collection.
What have we got there?
I don't know what kind of a person would want these items.
Right.
It's such an arbitrary selection, I don't know what kind of person you'd be.
Read them out, what have we got?
Well, there's another, XFM compilation, which you've obviously nicked from somewhere in the office.
Yeah, it's a good compilation, remix to
there's
album.
an album here, which is a promo album with 2 pigs on the front. I think it's the Smashing Pumpkins live. I can't be certain. This is the album. Didn't we give this one away last week? This is just an arbitrary compilation album. Again, one of those kind of...
Is that the actual one you didn't send, Carl?
No.
We've
got a couple of these.
I've got a job lot of them.
Surprise, surprise, The Office on DVD, which is ludicrous.
I've seen it from here. What film? If it, like, listen, dear XFM listener, it's 2:30. You know, it's a bit windy out. You're
probably gonna stay in this evening.
Maybe do a bit of shopping. You got, and then in a stay this evening. Oh, what film would you really want? No, I mean, seriously, think if you could see one film. Right, what would you want to see?
DVD.
One of the big releases.
Yeah, it's great. Put them out there, misery, Steve. They'll be watching this tonight if they're a lucky winner.
It's the movie Stigmata. Stigmata with Patricia Arquette and Gabriel Byrne. So look forward to that.
That's great.
That's the big one.
That is brilliant.
You're playing for.
Look at Carl's face. He's actually offended because he's the only one that puts any work into this show, and he's got competitions. He's got Educating Ricky, Rockbuster. He's got
the song with a story.
He's got a song with a story to come that he's like gone through them. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So you're playing for that collection of arbitrary goodies plus the big prize this week, Stigmata, featuring Gabriel Byrne.
Oh dear.
About a woman who I think starts bleeding from the hands. It's a horror film, I think. You'll have to be 18 or over to take part.
It's not terrible.
Sure.
It's all right. But
is it better than Children of the Corn, which was the big giveaway last week?
I haven't seen Children of the Corn. Go on then.
Right. So
next week, Teen Wolf 2.
Go on.
Here's the
and Tony Banks's own solo album, Bank Statement. Tony Banks, remember, is the musician from the much loved Genesis, but we've got that album to give away.
All right then. So right
to win those exclusive prizes.
Go
on.
Yeah, you've got to email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
I saw a sellotape dispenser out in the
there's a pair of gloves that I don't know who's out, but they're out there and they've been there for a week. So a pair of gloves, a sellotape dispenser, and Tony Banks's solo album, Bank Statement.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Right, first one. Initials JT.
Initials JT. What's the cryptic clue?
Cryptic clue. At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Hold on.
Yeah?
JT, and what's the clue again?
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Full of logs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who could it be? JT. At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Yeah, go on, next one.
Second one, there's 3 of them you gotta get. Letter is W.
Yeah.
The clue, that lad's got bad asthma.
That lad has got bad
I've got that
asthma.
one already. I've got that one already.
W.
Yeah.
And finally, the last one is the letter C.
Yeah.
And, the cryptic clue
is Carl is one of these.
Mousetrap is that musical, isn't it? This isn't the clue, by the way. It is called Mousetrap, isn't it?
The's not a musical.
It's not a musical, but it's a whodunit sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, here's a clue. I saw that,
Imagine that on the real Blockbusters.
Yeah, Bob Owen is going, oh, can we stop a minute? Oi, you with the 9 teddy bears there. Mousetrap, that's a show, isn't it? Isn't it? I think so, Bob, yeah. Right, okay, here we go.
Yeah, carry on. So the camera's back on?
Yeah.
So, the letter is C, and the cryptic clue. I saw that Mousetrap the other night, but the heating in the theatre was knackered. The heating in the theatre was knackered, right? Ruined it.
Well, I've got that one already as well.
Yeah?
I mean, these are, the first one's hard, but those two are
so just a quick reminder, JT was the first one.
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Full of logs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one, W, that lad's got bad asthma.
Yeah.
And the last one, C, I saw that Mousetrap the other night, but the heating in the theatre was knackered, and it ruined the whole thing.
Okay. And ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk is the email address. You can win.
I'm confused.
Various treats, including Stigmata.
I'm in a
Gabriel
river full of logs. Yeah. I'm in a river full of logs.
Well, we'll do it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, you've got to stay tuned for the answers.
It's not the quickest, so don't go rushing and sort of messing it up. Think about it. and it's random email anyway, so there's no rush, alright?
And if you want to email, you're welcome to say, please do not send me the prizes even if I win. Welcome to put that on there if you don't want that junk in your house.
Right. The reason we usually sort of play a record out of an outbreak, don't we?
Yeah.
Carl is so concerned with his little competition, he hasn't got a record ready.
Sure.
Got one.
Okay.
Sorry, Larry.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick recap, quick recap? I can't bother to even just say it. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, go on, quick.
Still send your emails in. JT, it's some initials of a band, just in case you didn't hear it last week. If I said AK and an exploding pet, that would be Atomic Kitten.
Yeah.
Right?
They know what a clue is.
So, JT, at the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Yeah.
W, that lad's got bad asthma. And C, I saw that mouse trap the other night. The heating wasn't working, it ruined the night. And, yeah, that's it. Ricky.Gervais at XFM.co.uk. Some stuff.
Stigmata. With Gabriel Byrne.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, who's our producer. A proper producer now. No, but he's getting it. But it's more like it now, isn't it? Before he was someone who pressed the buttons. Then he was someone who pressed the buttons who we just made talk like a performing monkey.
I hear he's going to be lured away by the Today programme on Radio 4. Because they've lost their news editor, I think.
Educating Ricky, quite topical.
Absolutely.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So when you say topical, this is topical. Well, this happened ages ago.
Yeah.
Your words, not mine.
Have they got a Ricky who works there?
We can look into that. So
this
Carl
is the big
set a
prize got to be
competition.
given away, Rick. They've got to be given away.
This is Rockbuster.
We've got obviously the big prize Stigmata this week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the prize to Ira. I think it's Ira or Ira, but she or he emailed in the right answers and then said if you could enclose the receipt for Stigmata, that would be much appreciated. But I'm amazed by the number of responses we've had.
And someone wants a copy of Tony Banks's solo album, which I was mucking around, so we'd better buy that in the week to give it away, because I think that'd be an amazing prize to give away.
If you just give the clues
do
again.
the clues and then just give the answer.
Come on. What the answers are.
Right, well, the one that everyone was struggling with was the first one.
Yeah.
So I'll save that. So we'll go to the second one. W.
Yeah.
That lad's got bad asthma.
Yeah, we know that.
That was Weezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one, well done.
The last one, C. The clue was, I saw that mouse trap the other day. The heating was knackered in the restaurant.
Yeah.
In the restaurant?
In the theatre.
Yeah.
And it ruined the night.
Yeah. So it was a cold play, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a cold play.
Yeah.
And, JT, at the moment,
I can't think of this one.
At the moment, I'm in a river full of logs.
Well, I had to say there were some wrong answers. What was it again?
It was Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. We had some wrong answers that included Jethro Tull and James Taylor. I don't know how that relates to it at all.
I'm annoyed at Lake when he clearly said river. I mean, that's the first thing that cropped up. Not I'm in some water full of logs. At the moment, yeah, I'm in some water full of logs. But he actually had to say river, so not lake. That annoys me. I mean, I didn't get it, fair enough, I should have worked it out. I should have tried to think like you. A lot of people obviously think like you, which is, which I'm, you know, worried about. But yeah, James Taylor is great. James Taylor.
Just someone guessing.
Yeah, James Taylor works.
Have we got a winner, Steve? He's just gonna randomly pick one.
I did have a winner, I've just lost them.
Oh.
Needless to say, that lucky person
won't be watching Stigmata tonight. Just randomly get it's a draw, by the way. It's not the first one.
Okay, I'll just.
I said to Carl in the break, I said, "Is the first one in?" He went, "No, I don't want a competition that relies on speed because I don't want to be rushed."
Okay.
So randomly click on someone.
I'm just going to randomly click on one.
Go on.
They've not put an address.
Well, what we can do, we can email back and say, send us your address.
Well, of course you can.
I think if they haven't put an address.
Well, no, let's read it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris Beaumont. Lucky Chris Beaumont as
Chris Beaumont will be watching Stigmata tonight with a club of Haagen-Dazs, if I'm not much mistaken. He'll be loving it.
Well done to Chris.
Need his address. Right then.
That's the end of that competition.
Right.
Can we play a record or something?
Well, we're on to another feature.
Oh, what is this?
This one is...
Rick, were you not at the planning meeting?
What is this? Go on.
This is, that song's got a good story in it.
Oh, is this that? Oh, God.
So tell us the rules.
Yeah. Right, the rule is that it's songs that we play on the show every week, and there's a lot of music out that they just keep saying the same thing over and over.
What is it? What's the song with the story this week?
A good story.
What's the song with the story this week? Just say it.
It's Gene Pitney, 24 Hours from Tulsa.
Oh, I'm really sorry about this. If you're an XFM listener, we got to listen to this. Go on.
Well, do you know what it's about?
Yeah, isn't he trying to get back to his girlfriend?
Yeah, he's been working away. Lives in Tulsa. He works quite far away.
Right.
And he's
Would this save us having to listen to the song?
Well, it's always good to sort of
hear the story before you hear the story.
It's like you know.
Sure. I like this before a film. Yeah.
No,
go on.
You might read the book before you see the film, type thing.
Yeah. So never in my case.
He's working. He's working miles away. His missus is in Tulsa. He's driving back. Yeah. And he can't wait.
He's only about 24 hours away, as I remember.
He's about 24 hours away, and he's a little bit tired on the way home. He's thinking, oh, I don't want to look a mess for when me missus sees me. So he says, right, I'll stay at a motel, get some energy and that, you know, for when I see you, have a shave.
Bar.
So he pulls over at a motel, and he's locking his car up, getting his suitcase out the back. There's a woman in the car park. He's like, oh, she's alright. She looks at him, he thinks...
XFM 104.9.
I don't think the suitcase in the boot is mentioned in the song. I think that's maybe a 12-inch mix or something. I've not heard that.
Well, basically, right...
I don't remember...
I'll play the record, for Christ's sake! Let them listen to it!
I don't remember him saying, cool, she looks alright in the record.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. 24 Hours from Tulsa, Gene Pitney, song with a story.
You are quite upset by the lyrics of that song, aren't you?
I just think it's a bit annoying that, right, he loved this woman.
Yeah.
Everything's going fine. He's only 24 hours away from home. I don't know what sort of distance he's done. but he can't wait to get home. And all it took was some woman in the car park to sort of...
give him the eye.
Give her the eye. And all the, like, the good times he's had with his missus go out the window. And, I don't know.
That's the dangers of falling in love with a prostitute. What I like about it, though, is the fact that he's writing this to his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, talking about rubbing it in.
Yeah.
I was kissing her and getting off with her, we were having a wild
Didn't take as long as Karl did explaining it, though. Yeah.
But did you hear the very end? Because he's the loser, because he said, and he can never go home again.
Yeah.
So even though he's got this new girlfriend and that, he can't see his old mates
anymore. He has falling in love with her.
Can't see his old mates anymore, he said. He can't see his old mates anymore.
Yeah. It's a sobering lesson. I'll tell you next time you stop at the Granada services on the way back from, you know, Swansea, be careful.
There was a song that's a bit like that by Jim Reeves, probably out about the same time, a little bit before, right? It was just called, just 100 miles from Mary Ann, right? And, it was him and his horse going through the snow, and he was just
He stopped at a little chef.
No, yeah, he fancied another donkey. No, but, it's really sad. It used to make me cry when I was little, because he got there, right, and he wouldn't leave old Ben, the horse, and he dies in the snow, and then so he dies in the snow.
He's gone again, you've gone again. Now, I get the same way, teary-eyed, with, two little boys.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Why not?
It's just...
Do you think I'd leave you dying when there's room on this horse for two? Climb up here, Jack, we'll soon be flying back to the ranks so blue. It was just like when they were playing with the little horse's head, when they were little, and he was a soldier, and he helped him, and he returned the favour in a war, which to me is a bigger favour than just letting him have a go on a hobby horse, but, a lot braver, if you know. Yeah, last number one of the 60s as well. Christmas 1969.
And it's, of course, based on truth. That's a history lesson right there. It is based on fact. It's a famous person. I think it was Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Yeah, it's Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Cromwell and Winston Churchill.
Yeah, they were both lived ages ago, so they lived at the same time. Literally ages ago, so they lived at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that's it then.
Is it?
Yeah.
Were you listening to anything we were saying then, Karl? Did you understand any of that me and Steve were just chatting about then?
That Rolf Harris, did a good song about someone who's got to carry on a horse.
Right, and what was about the stuff about Cromwell and Winston Churchill? What do you think that was about?
I missed that.
We're doing humour, we're doing a little bit of humour. It was a satire on you saying ages not being specific. Do you like that stuff we do?
Yeah. That's it then.
Like just a cat looking out a window at a dead mouse or something. You can go, come here! And it's just looking at the mouse it could eat. You wanna press the buttons and finish, don't you?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, play a record or?
No, that's it, it's ads and that's it.
Okay. Great. Goodbye.
What a wonderful ending.